And joining me now is Shairee Malhotra, Deputy Director, Strategic Studies Program at the ORF. Shairee, thank you so much for joining us. Look at the larger perspective over here. China not being tariffed like India is. What is the play over here, and what's the play when it comes to pressuring Europe to impose 100% tariffs on both India and China?
Well, thank you for having me on the program, Geeta. So firstly, I would say that, President Trump is himself feeling the pressure. It's because he's been unable to persuade Russia and Ukraine to arrive at a peace deal. There was hardly any outcome from that much anticipated Alaska summit. So I guess he's realizing the hard way that diplomacy doesn't happen overnight. And he's seeking to try fresh tactics, such as demanding that the EU now hit India with tariffs of 100% to pressurize Putin to end the war. But he's also simultaneously been posting on his Truth Social platform about continuing trade negotiations with India. So it's really a bit schizophrenic that he's on the one hand pressurizing India's partners to impose further tariffs on India while talking about successful trade negotiations with India. But coming to your question about the EU, I think it's unlikely that the EU would cave into such demands. For starters, the EU has itself time and again been at the receiving end of Trump's threats. The transatlantic alliance has gone through multiple upheavals since Trump took over in January this year. So the Europeans know how he works and how he corners countries into accepting certain positions. I think the Europeans are also likely aware that these demands originate from Trump's personal frustrations due to his lack of success in brokering the peace deal, given that his eyes are on that Nobel Peace Prize. Secondly, I would say that when you talk about the EU-India partnership, this week itself, we will actually see a lot of activity on this front.
That's right.
So the EU's top trade negotiators, the EU Commissioner for Trade, he will soon be in Delhi to advance the FTA negotiations. The PSC, the Political and Security Committee, which comprises of the 27 ambassadors of the EU member states to Brussels, are also visiting India. You also have the EU-India counterterrorism dialogue just taking place in Brussels as we speak.
Right.
And next month, the Committee of the European Parliament on Trade will be in India. There's also going to be a new EU-India strategic agenda to be launched next year, along with an EU-India summit. So really my point is that this is the extent of the diplomatic and political engagement taking place currently between the EU and India. And this really goes to show how serious both are about deepening relations with each other. So I think there's less likelihood that the EU would, jeopardize a partnership that it is investing a lot in, one that is growing in such a steady manner, only to appease Trump at the time when the EU Trade Commissioner is coming to India in 2 days with the goal of progressing on the FTA negotiations.
Right. Also, Shairee, the fact that there's a distinction European Union makes when it comes to illegality and immorality. Over here, this is not illegal. They might consider it immoral to buy Russian oil. Shairee Malhotra, thank you so much for joining us for now.
Thank you.